9 kilo. What was it,
9 in the end, yeah.
9 kilogram.
So just a even more.
Yeah, in
Running
that,
sub 37 10Ks and dropped 9
yeah,
kilo.
and in that time, like running's improved, stronger in the gym.
How did you feel before you started working with myself?
I wasn't nervous or anything like that. Obviously, me and you have been in touch for a while, just messaging back and forth, football and things like that. Probably just keen to get stuck in, and it was at a point where I was sort of I could afford to do it. Training and fitness has never been a problem for me. It was just like I'm one of them. If I'm not sort of on it, and I'll just eat what I want. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I like crap. Like I was saying to you when I phoned, I had a regional phone call. I was like piling in like 4 bars of dairy milk, like the big ones a day. Like, so it's never
Gosh.
been training that's been the problem for me. It's always sort of keeping on top of the nutrition, and then it calmed down a lot now. But like going out with the weekend.
Going out on the weekend. I know it's not as much now, but that was obviously something that derailed you at the time as well.
Yeah, so it's like going out the weekend and like even if you've got a couple of pints, like 10 or like a couple alternate to 10, and then next thing you're rough on Sunday, you can't be arsed eating shit again. I mean, and at this age, like I look back to when I was like 18 to 25, and you could go for like all weekend and you sound on a Monday. You go out now on a Saturday and you're done till Wednesday.
What do you feel like it was that you really needed to sort of take things to the next level and get into the position that you're in now with your training, your nutrition, your physique?
I was had signed for the marathon, um, and I've always been like probably lockdown was when I was at me. I wouldn't say my fittest because that was probably my peak years of playing football. But lockdown was when I was running like the fastest times, and I've had a few operations and injuries since then. Um, and I could feel when I was doing like maybe 10Ks or even fives, I was feeling sluggish. I could feel myself like I wasn't at the paces that I wanted to be at. I was getting into like deeper miles on long runs, and my body was like almost like withering, like running within yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like my body was collapsing on top of itself.
Yeah, not like
Uh,
giving you
yeah,
what you
just
needed.
yeah. And I knew with this marathon coming up and weight's a massive thing in running if you wanted to do like really well, unless you just like a bit of a genetic freak like some of my idols. Stack muscle on top of muscle and able to run them times, which is different gravy. But yeah, it was more the running side of things that I was getting serious into it more and more serious. And just wanted to do better at it really. And I knew the training and that side of it wasn't the issue, it was the nutrition, getting myself to a good place and then staying there.
And do you feel like having the structure and the accountability of the program in place and the nutrition set up and having your calories and your macros worked out on a daily basis has been exactly what you needed at the time?
Yeah, definitely. It just gave me something to look at every day and say, right, work within that structure. But also the little things, the daily habits, just stacking them on top of each other, ticking them off on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
Uh,
you've been unreal with them, haven't you?
yeah,
Like 70-day streaks and that.
yeah, it's just like just throw yourself into it. At the end of the day, you're paying for the plan. And I've only actually this is only the second one I've done, but I've seen people who've been on them and then like 2 weeks in, that's it. They're doing it and they're paid for something. And I'm like, why have you bothered there?
Hmm.
But you're paying for it. You want to do it. You're changing it for it. You don't want to make this change for a reason. So just throw yourself in. So
Class.
whether it was the steps or taking or the consistent sleep and things like that. Yeah,
I love
just
it.
work at them.
Lovely stuff. So obviously you mentioned there about like getting into a plan. Sort of, I know earlier on you mentioned obviously about like now you had the time to invest financially and sort of put that money behind yourself. What would you say about the investment that you have made in the service that you've received from myself, but what the program has to offer?
Um, just top notch. Basically, absolutely brilliant. Um, Obviously within reason, you've got your own life. So you like to clock off at certain times a night, which is absolutely ideal. Um, and as even as we're paying customers, we've still got to respect that as well, haven't you? It's like, but basically just about 24-hour service, whatever you need. If you sent a text at night, if I sent a text at night, sorry, I maybe won't get one back straight away, but it'll be there in the morning. Um, any questions answered. He's very knowledgeable on anything that I've asked, whether that's training, nutrition, fueling for running. Um, yeah, just I can't fault it really.
Class, no, appreciate it. And I know obviously you've been on a few live calls and stuff, and to be honest, you were quite good in the community, like sharing your wins, contributing to other people's wins as well, which is
Yeah,
is often nice. What would you sort of describe like having that community feel, and sort of being a part of something outside of maybe your comfort zone as well, like people you don't know, and actually supporting others and getting support from other people.
yeah. No, I thought that side of it was really good. Um, you know, everybody's in this program for their own reasons, and they're all making them little wins to get to the goals. I think it's important that if you're on your way up, try and bring people with you as well. Celebrate their wins. Um, give them praise for the successes that they've had during the week or the months.
Yeah,
No, I thought it was great, and the little competitions and things like that. I did a little another. I like competition. I've been competitive as a runner and a player. Um, so I was a little bit disappointed to miss out on the third place. Like, but I thought it was. I thought that was like a really good thing to introduce. And it just gives folk a little kick up the arse if they're maybe having a bit of a shit week. They can see other people are doing well, and
nah,
what I mean,
class. No,
feed off other people's success.
yeah, I love that. No, I genuinely do love that, and I think it goes a long way. Like I'm in different sort of communities, and again, like I think you can see other people doing well, and you're having one of them shit weeks, and you think, do you know what, like they're winning, maybe I'm not doing something that I should be doing, so maybe I do need to pull my finger out a little bit. And I definitely sort of see that, and it's that football side in us as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you played football all your life, it's like, right, I need to fucking be up there, I need to do that. So yeah, last question then. What would you say? I know you've mentioned it like previously to me on messages and stuff. What would you say to anyone who was sat on the fence about working with myself and jumping into Fortify?
Um, it's like me. I wasn't necessarily sat on the fence, but it was sort of like I needed things in place at the time to be able to start. Um, but if you're thinking about it and you're in that position, I would say just go for it. In 16 weeks, what have I dropped there? Like five and a
Nine
half,
kilo,
yeah, 9 kilo.
nine in the end there.
Like 9 kilogram.
Just even more.
Yeah, in
Running
that,
sub 37 10Ks and dropped nine
yeah,
kilo.
and in that time, like running's improved, stronger in the gym, I feel better. I've had less nights out, not necessarily just because of the program. Things change at home and stuff like that. As you get older, you don't go out as much. We had a few big ones at Christmas, but even the Christmas period, I managed that. And I come in, and
Yeah,
only a couple of
actually,
pounds, yeah.
you did, didn't you? And I think probably in the early days when you started, that probably would have been one of them positions where you maybe could have fell off because Christmas was busy. You were out quite often when you first
Yeah.
started. How did we actually manage that? Like, what was some of the things that we sort of put in place that helped you, do you think?
I think one of the biggest things for me, and I sort of jumped right into it from the start, it was like prepping. So it was like, if I knew I was going on, I'd done it anyways, but if I knew I was going on a night out, I made a point of making sure at least two of my meals for the day were there, good to go. So it was like, I didn't order takeaway, or I wasn't like nitpicking at like junk food.
Yeah.
And I think that was what helped me massively. And then it was always that sort of nod from you. It was like, don't necessarily worry about, you've had your night out, but just get back on the horse as soon as you possibly can, throw yourself back into it.
Yeah,
Whereas sometimes that would go on for days for me. like two, obviously a rough till midweek, and then it'd be like
yeah.
2-3 days till you're back in the gym. You're just eating like anything and everything until that
You
point.
eat to feel better, but it makes you feel worse, doesn't it,
Oh,
by the time you've
definitely.
consumed all that shite?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
No, honestly, I appreciate that. Genuinely appreciate that.